Welcome back to Bradley's Garage. Today we're working on a 2016 Honda Odyssey, cool little minivan. A buddy of ours, we're helping a buddy out today. He took it to the Honda dealer and they want $800 to do the front brakes. So we're going to show you how to get it done for a lot less than that. Basically rotors and pads for $800. It seems crazy to us. So let's jump into it and get it done. So obviously the first step, get the car in the air. You got a good jacking point on each side. And then if you come around the front here, you'll see the jack stands are in a nice little spot just behind the subframe there. So get the car in the air and then let's get the wheels off. All right, so we're gonna be using the Raybestos Element 3 rotors, and we like all of the Pagid stuff for all of our European stuff. So as you can see, we got pads are like $32 and then both rotors are 90, so that's 45. Plus, you know, you have to ship. We ordered from Rock Auto. The prices are really good, even with the shipping. So we're looking at like $162 out the door delivered for the parts. So that's what we're out. A little time and labor, and we save. The dealer wanted $800, so saving a lot. Okay, so what I like to do first, depending on where you live in the world, I spray a little bit of penetrating spray onto that rotor stay bolt, just to make sure that if you have any corrosion or whatever, just let it soak in while you're getting the rest of your tools and everything set up. So the first step is we're gonna wanna remove the caliper. So what you're gonna need, 14mm socket, and then a 19mm open-end wrench. Because as you turn this, you'll see it wants to move. So we wanna go ahead and hold that while we break it free. Okay, same thing on the bottom. Okay, we got our wrench on the lower bolt. Same thing. Just break it free, and then once it's free, we can switch over to our Milwaukee. Just make it a little easier. Okay, we got our two caliper bolts out. Now we can just kind of wiggle a little bit, and then it'll basically pull straight off. Okay, and then you can, if you want more room, you can take this 12mm, you can take that bolt out, but we actually have enough room. We're just gonna lie the caliper right up there, okay? Now we can go ahead and remove the old pads. These springs just pop straight out. Just make sure and squeeze them, otherwise they like to blast and shoot in your face. And the pads just simply pull straight out. As you can see, these are, I mean, they still have about 50% life. This car has almost 80,000 miles on it. The problem is that we're getting shudder, so the rotors have been warped from getting hot and cold too many times. So we just go ahead and pull those pads off, set those aside, and now we're ready to get the carrier off. Now we're gonna go ahead and get these carrier bolts. They're 19. I'm gonna use my impact. These are on a little over 100 foot-pounds, so they are pretty tight. So we'll just go ahead and get the impact. Spin those off, and we have one right here. It's a little tight. You might need your extension on the top one. Okay. Go ahead and spin those out. Okay, set those to the side. Now we can pull off our carrier here. These old clips, you can pull off little pad brackets. Those gonna come with our new pads. And then we can pull out our pins here. Just peel back the boot here. I can pull those out, and then we'll re-lube those up upon assembly. Okay, and you can just take this over to your bucket, get a little brake clean it up if you'd like. I like to use a little impact for this. You can also use a hammer driver if you want. But most of the time, like I said, if it's not corroded or someone puts Antisieze on there, which we will do, then typically it comes off pretty easily. And then sometimes this also gets corroded. The rotor gets stuck on, but just give it a little tap. Should break free, and our rotor's off. Just gonna give a quick cleanup. Some brake clean. Okay, same thing with our hub here. Okay, if we want, we can do a little spray on the caliper. Okay. So if you don't have a brake caliper tool, you can either go down and rent it, or in this particular car, you can still use a C-clamp to push the pistons back because you have a little bit of room to bite on the back. So in this case, since it has a dual piston, we can actually use both. So we can go ahead and find just our round one is all you'll need for this, and put it in your tool. And then we're just gonna simply get it in position and we'll push it back. You'll notice that as you start to push this piston back, then this one might move out a little bit. So that's why, you know, having the C-clamp actually is helpful in this case. So you can go ahead and just put some pressure on. And then it'll kind of just keep it there for you. And just go back. You're gonna push the piston back until it stops. Okay, once it stops, just back it up. Okay, and then what I do is I can just switch over, use this as a way to just keep this one in position. We don't want it to, it'll try to push out a little bit in some cases. So we'll just keep a little pressure on it and we'll switch sides, and we're just gonna go ahead and push the other piston back. Shouldn't take much effort at all, should push back very easy, just nice and seamless. If you're getting any resistance, then something's not aligned correctly or binding up. Okay, just go until it stops. Okay, then you can remove that clamp. All right, I like to put, this is kind of just a thing I like to do. I like to put a little bit of Antisieze on the hub surface. Sometimes, you know, the rotor gets stuck on there. In our case, you know, we don't have that much corrosion, but why not just put a little bead, and then I put a dab on the threads just to never have any issue with taking the lugs off. And then you can go ahead and just lube up the rotor stay bolt, put a little something on there so you never have a problem taking that off. Okay, now we're ready to reassemble. Let's grab our new rotor and get it cleaned up. So we're getting our new rotor open. Just remember, on these new rotors, they have a little corrosion prevention coating. So you want to go ahead and just hit them with a quick blast of brake cleaner just to knock that coating off. All right, now we're ready to reinstall the new rotor. So just make sure you line up your hole here where the rotor stay bolt goes. Get that in position. Grab your rotor bolt, get it in the hole, and then just hold it in place while you give it a little tighten, and then snug it down. You don't have to go crazy. Remember, the wheel is touching that surface, so there's nowhere for that to go. Plus you have the caliper, everything back in place. So next thing we want to do is lube up our pins and get them reinstalled in the carrier. I like to use the Sil Glide silicone-based lubricant for all of my pins. So just get a little bit and rub it in on the slide pins here. And then you can just simply insert those back into there, and then if you just slide it in place, I like to push it in as you have the corner off a little bit, otherwise you create a bunch of air pocket. And there we go. You just pull back on the boot a little bit as you're inserting it. Just push it back, and then, yep, and then you can just wipe off the excess. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get the carrier assembly back on. So just slide it over the rotor, kind kind of goes behind there, and then just line up your bolts. I just crank them all the way in by hand. And then we can grab our torque wrench. These are set to 101 foot-pounds. Got your 19 millimeter. I gotta stand up for this one. Okay, now we have our little pad brackets here. So they just kind of snap into place. This middle sometimes is a little tricky, so you have to get the side on, and then I like to just put a little plain tip, and then it kind of just snaps into place. So that's the little trick there. So these come with the pads. If you buy a decent set of pads, they're gonna give you the clips. You really want to have new stuff, that way everything's fresh. Like I said, you get it in, and then you just put the screwdriver there. It usually just pops into place. Okay. And then on the pads, you want to make sure that your wear sensor is on the inboard side. So you want to put it here. And these have a little spring, so you need to come at them at a 45 right here. As you come in, and then they push into place. Same thing on the bottom side here. So you want to come in at an angle like a 45, and then they just snap into place. Okay, and now we have our new springs. Another important thing that you want to make sure that you have. And you can put the top one on now, and you want to kind of get the caliper in place before you put the bottom one on. So usually, well, sometimes even the top one they like to pop out. So, but at least you can hold it with your hand. All right. So we'll let that. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let's go ahead and make sure we lube up. Get our brake lube here. This is the caliper grease. You just want to put a little on the pistons. Doesn't take much. All right, so I'm just holding the pads with my left hand with the top spring in. I have the caliper in position with the brake line the right way, right, so it's not twisted. And then what I like to do is just get the top of the caliper on. You can see we're clear of the pin, the slide pin here. And then all you gotta do is, while you're holding everything, is get the little clip here and squeeze it and kind of peek in there, find the holes like that, and then you can slide this the rest of the way down. And remember, your slide pin on the bottom will try to be blocking you, and then everything's in place and nice and snug. Now we can get our caliper bolts and just wiggle the caliper around a little bit to get them started. You just have to find the center. Just move it around a little bit till you get there. There it is. Okay, same thing on the bottom. Just move it in and out until you're there. And you can grab your 19 wrench and your little Milwaukee. Snug it down. Same thing for the top here. Okay, and then we can go ahead and switch to our torque wrench. And these two 14 millimeter bolts are going to be set at 37 foot-pounds. So you kind of have to apply pressure while you're tightening because the pin will try to spin. All right, so now we have our carrier torque to 101. We have our caliper torque to 37. So now it's time to put the wheel back on. All right, so go ahead and just torque your lug nuts down. On this little Honda here is 94 foot-pounds. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and do a little quick test drive. We're gonna bead those brakes in. So just check out the link below. We have a little PDF. You can just follow along, find some clear space around your neighborhood, and just do a few stops, stop and go, so to speak. Get those pads nice and hot and set them up to the rotors, and then you'll be good for many, many more miles. All right, guys, thanks again for hanging out on the channel. Hopefully this helped you out with your 2011 to 2017 Honda Odyssey. Get those brakes done, save yourself a boatload of cash. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.